Welcome back to Charleston County RoadWise. I'm talking with County Councilman Herb Sass, and this is his district here in Mount Pleasant, and therefore he knows a lot about it. And when we left, Councilman Sass, we were talking about the cost of these kinds of projects. What's it, running in the millions? Or?
Oh, yes, ma'am. The RoadWise part is over around 60 million, up that part. Maybe a little bit more than that, and I believe this one is around 50 million. The State Infrastructure Bank's doing, and then the one further out from Town Center towards Wando High School is somewhere in the vicinity around 50 million as well.
Let's remind the public where the money comes from, especially from the RoadWise side of this thing. The State Infrastructure Bank is a long explanation from the state of South Carolina, and they put this money together and they give it to certain projects or provide it to certain projects. But where did the money come from for this part of the project? And I'm pointing now down to Bowman Road, all the way up to the bridge, and eventually having an overpass and that kind of thing.
Well, that money came from the half-cent sales tax, which we started paying about 5 or 6 years ago. And so we're still collecting that money, and we'll be collecting that money for, I think it goes for 25 years, so we've got another 18 years to go on collecting that money. But we're able to use that money now to get these improvements done. And the State Infrastructure Bank is paying for this part, and some of the road work we're doing is our match for what they do.
Right.
The State Infrastructure Bank pays for this section, but we match it. We pay for other sections. It's sort of a local match, and so we're able to trade off. We're able to get work out of them by using our money for the local match.
You know, a lot of folks, of course, don't like taxes, and they don't want their taxes increased. I understand that. This is a half-penny sales tax over a long period of time that's going to collect about $1.3 billion. But what would we have done about the infrastructure in Charleston County had we not gone for this half-cent sales tax?
Well, it would have been done very piecemeal. There's no way we would have been able to accumulate that much money, I don't believe, unless the state came up with it, and everybody knows the difficulty the state's having coming up with money.
Right.
Money is tough everywhere. Nobody likes taxes. I don't like paying taxes any more than anybody else, but we've got to be able to, our citizens have got to be able to get to work. They've got to be able to get their kids to school, and we got to have roads that are safe to drive on.
South Carolina is unlike most states in that our gasoline tax, which pays for roads in our state, remains at, what, 15, 16 cents?
I think it's about 16, 17 cents a gallon.
What's the deal? What's going on there? And why haven't we raised that, in your opinion, just your opinion, why haven't we raised that so that we could get our money from the source that it should come from for infrastructure?
Well, I think that, if I remember correctly, it hadn't been raised since about 1987. And so it has not, there's an opportunity maybe to raise that tax. And that's a tax that users pay for. When I drive and I buy gas, I'm paying that tax.
Visitor comes to town?
Visitor comes to town, they pay that tax. But everything we do involves some sort of vehicle bringing things to us, whether it's a ship coming in the harbor, whether it's a train coming down here, or whether it's a truck coming down the interstate, bringing us office supplies, bringing us food for the grocery store. So, you know, the gas and diesel is used by every business and every family in some way or form. We're paying that tax when they bring us, in other words, when they bring a load of groceries to the grocery store, that truck had to be gassed up and they had to pay the gas tax. And that all ultimately comes out, I guess, in the cost of our groceries and the cost of doing business. And so South Carolina probably needs to raise that gas tax.
Probably, yeah.
And it is a user fee. I think it's
equal.
It's pretty equal.
It's fair to everybody.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Yeah. As far as these projects are concerned, what was it like before we started widening 17 and having the idea of putting an overpass of sorts, or the road from Bowman Road on down? What was it like out here?
It was gridlock. It was gridlock. It's actually already improved because people it's very well, everything's been well marked, the construction's going well. I think that they've done a really good job of keeping the traffic moving during this construction.
Well, that's great. And I know you're very pleased, and the business community, they've been a little bit concerned, huh?
Well, they're very concerned, and I understand their concerns. They have to be able to get to and from their businesses, and if people can't get to and from their businesses, they can't keep the doors open. They can't make money. They can't sell their products or make their products, and so Highway 17 has to stay open during the day. So that means that we have to do this work, most of this work at night, which allows most of those businesses to stay open during the day. And so far, I haven't had many complaints from people that are having trouble getting to their businesses. I think that thus far, in the town has worked very, very hard to accommodate everybody they possibly can to be able to get, so people can get to and from their places of work.
And that's all good. As a matter of fact, the town has gone the extra mile by opening up a public information center here on 17, and anyone who has a problem can go there. Listen to this from Patrice Smith.